Publisher Rocket worth the purchase price? Is it better than BookBolt or KD Spy? What's the best keyword tool for publishing books on Amazon? All of these questions and more will be answered in my new Publisher Rocket review. There's a new video coming out next Tuesday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it, and hit the bell so YouTube lets you know the second that it arrives. I've published hundreds of books on Amazon, and every single one of them used Publisher Rocket. Even back when it was called KDP Rocket, to plan my categories and keywords. Every book I've ever published has charted and been profitable. I've trained hundreds of people how to use this tool inside of my courses, and in this video, I'll show you all the secrets to help you decide if this is the right tool for your business. Number 1, what is Publisher Rocket? Amazon has the largest store on the entire internet. You may not remember that originally Amazon was only a bookstore. There still remains a very firm divide between Amazon's book division and every other product type on Amazon. Amazon authors use different tools to upload books, create profiles, customize our listings. Authors use an entirely different paid advertising platform that has different properties and limitations to everyone else. For that reason, most Amazon keyword tools just don't work that well for authors. They pull data from the other side of Amazon and will give you a lot of bad results. That's why we need an author-specific keyword tool. The first keyword tool on the market was called KD Spy, and it's really awesome at what it does. It's a plugin that I use for extensive research on Amazon, and it's great for studying a book listing and checking to see if a keyword is a good idea. The limitation of KD Spy is that it relies on you to come up with the keywords. Most keyword tools rely on Amazon autocomplete. When you type the word into Amazon and add the letter A, you will get 10 results. You can then change the letter A to the letter B and get 10 more results. You can do this by hand and get up to 260 keywords. The problem is that if there is a term that has a word before the keyword you came up with, for example, if I type in yoga H, I'll get yoga headstand, yoga headband, yoga hand towels, but happy face yoga is nowhere to be found. This is where Publisher Rocket entered the market. Dave Chesson from Kindlepreneur, the founder of Publisher Rocket, realized that we needed a keyword tool as good as the ones everyone else has access to. Publisher Rocket pulls keyword data from Google as well as Amazon. This means it comes up with a much larger keyword set that it then runs through Amazon to give you your keyword results. That's a really long explanation. Basically, Publisher Rocket gives you a list of the ideal keywords for your book and comes up with keywords you never would have thought of. Publisher Rocket has added a lot of tools over the past few years. It now does keyword research for Kindle and physical books separately, and I'll explain why this is so important in step 3. It provides competitor analysis so you can avoid falling for false positives in your keyword research. Just because a keyword result seems profitable doesn't mean that it's one that you want to target. It also helps you target the right category by letting you know how many books you need to sell each day to be listed on the first page for the category or to be a bestseller. There's also a tool for generating keywords specifically for Amazon ads. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on Amazon ads using keywords from Publisher Rocket. I'm even the one who emailed Dave suggesting that they add a spreadsheet export button, which they did. I'm a power user of this tool. Who is Publisher Rocket for? Publisher Rocket is for authors and publishers who want to generate more book sales. If you're selling physical products or drop shipping on Amazon, this is the wrong tool. Publisher Rocket is laser focused on authors and it's priced accordingly. Unlike most keyword research tools, you only need to pay once. There's no recurring fee. Whether you're publishing fiction or nonfiction, low content or no content books, keywords is the name of the game. A huge percentage of book searches are keyword based and the field is constantly shifting. Additionally, putting your book in the right category can make a huge difference in sales. My book on decluttering was an abysmal failure for years. Then Amazon created the decluttering category. I moved my book there and was #1 for months, recovering my entire investment and turning that book's life around. Amazon restructures their categories every 3 months, and it's quite common for new opportunities to arise and previous categories to disappear. You cannot rely on the KDP dashboard to select your categories. There are hundreds of hidden categories that don't even appear as options when you are publishing your book. Publisher Rocket will find them for you. You can email KDP support and ask them to manually add you to the correct category. I do it all the time. That one tip alone should be a game changer for you. How can Publisher Rocket help me make more money? It's important that any tool generates more money than it costs. If you upload a book to Amazon with no keywords and no categories collected, you'll never make a single sale. People won't be able to find your book even if they want to. If you upload your book with the wrong keywords and categories, you won't make any sales because the wrong people will see your book. If your romance novels are only appearing for people looking to buy poetry, your sales will be quite disappointing. Publisher Rocket doesn't just help you find good keywords, it helps you find the perfect keywords. It's the secret weapon of many independent authors who became best-selling authors. If your book is just $2.99 and Publisher Rocket only boosts your sales by 1 copy a week, you'll recover your investment within a year. Of course, Publisher Rocket will boost your numbers by a lot more than that. This tool is how you get your book in front of the people most likely to buy it. If you're finding this video useful so far and are ready to see my in-depth demonstration, please hit the like button. It encourages me to make more videos and helps people to find me. Allow me to demonstrate the features of Publisher Rocket. This is a Publisher Rocket dashboard. There are 4 main options: keyword search, competition analyzer, category search, and AMS keyword search tool. Number 5 is tutorials, which we don't need right now, but will be very helpful the first time you use Publisher Rocket. The links to each option are always in the top bar as well. We're going to start with keyword research because that's really where Publisher Rocket shines. It's very important to pay attention to this first tab, book or ebook. Keywords are different for books and ebooks. When it's time to publish your book, you will use 7 different keywords for each version of your book to maximize your sales. My first big success on Amazon was a book on potty training my children. We want to see if Publisher Rocket can find some useful keywords that I wouldn't have thought of on my own. Publisher Rocket does more than rely on Amazon autocomplete to come up with keywords, but it won't come up with synonyms of a word. It won't turn potty training into toilet training. Let's keep digging for some good keyword opportunities. I'm starting to see a few interesting opportunities. None of these are big money on their own, but if you can rank for 7 different small keywords, the total sales can really start to add up. Some words like potty training enzyme spray are clearly for a physical product and for potty training a dog, not a child, so we probably don't want to target that one. But potty training guide, potty training in 3 days, and potty training with John Rosemont, any keywords that relate to potty training child is going to interest me. We have potty training rings for boys. These are little targets that you put into the toilet for your son to aim at. A person looking for these is my target audience, so ranking for this keyword could help me sell more books. Our goal is to find a keyword where there's an opportunity for traffic and an opportunity for sales. A better term here is potty training for boys. That's a keyword I want to dig deeper into. All of the books are actually about potty training a child, so we pass our first test. Sometimes you'll check a keyword and the book's ranking in the top 10, nothing to do with that keyword. The next test is to see if all of the books in the top 10 are making money, or if just 1 or 2 books are making all the sales and throwing off the statistics. Some books are making money, but most aren't. This means a new book will struggle to make sales on this keyword. Unfortunately, we have ourselves a false positive. Even though these are the results for that keyword, they're not actually generating revenue. We can sort the keywords by Amazon searches per month. Potty training for girls gets nearly double the searches every month that potty training for boys does. Let's analyze the competition. Again, we can see that we have a bunch of books making less than $10 a month, and that's not just $10 a month from this keyword, that's the total monthly revenue for these books. This term is super competitive, and there isn't enough profit to go around, so I'm not going to use it. We're getting useful data, but I know you want to see at least 1 winner in this video. Let's research entrepreneur under ebook. I do the majority of my initial research under ebooks because the data is cleaner. Every single digital book on Amazon was uploaded to the KDP dashboard, so they know every detail about the book, including your royalties and Kindle Unlimited page reads. A physical book, however, might be printed at a different printing press or through a different publisher, so the data can be affected by things like different warehouses, Amazon Prime options, and of course, people reselling used copies of a book. I want more data on entrepreneur books, entrepreneurial finance, and the entrepreneur's paradox. Entrepreneur books, this is interesting to me because it's competitive, but there's also enough money to make it worth the effort. Again, when doing competition research, we want to see that even if we are the 9th book on the page, we can make some money. All of the books are making at least $100 a month, and most are in the thousands. I also want to see if they're in a recently published books ranking. Sometimes the results are all books published decades ago, and that's a really hard nut to crack. I see a book by Reid Hoffman that's new, so that gives me hope for this keyword. I can slide in here. Entrepreneur book is a great keyword, but it's competitive, so let's try to find an easier one next. Usually I click the magnifying glass for every keyword just so I can sort all the data and not be limited by my personal assumptions. I prefer to sort by monthly earnings, as that's the most important factor to me. We have entrepreneur quotes at the top. It's a competition score of 100. That means it's literally the hardest keyword on all of Amazon. No thanks. Right below that, we have entrepreneur roller coaster, which earns a goodly amount of money and is half as competitive. More interesting is entrepreneur book boys. It's making a lot of money and it's not too competitive in relationship to the money opportunity. Looking at the competition, I see that most of the books are relevant and that there are some recently published books appearing in these results. Even the lowest books here are making decent money, and to be honest, I'm probably going to move some of my books into this keyword after I finish recording this video. Now let's move on to Publisher Rocket's category tool. As always, separate your ebook and book research. Amazon treats the listings separately, and the categories are completely different. Each format of your book you release gives you a new batch of keywords to target. I'm going to start with business and money. For a new book, the key is how many books I have to sell to get into the top 10. Once I get to the top 10 in a category, I'll start getting even more sales from people who buy books based on categories. I haven't looked at categories in a few months, so there are a bunch of new ones here that I haven't seen before. You can be number one in some of these categories with just one book sale. That's the easiest way to get the Amazon bestseller square next to your book title and will boost sales instantly. Some authors game the system by putting their books into completely irrelevant categories just to get that bestseller seal. There are a lot of new categories to choose from: transportation, casualty insurance, business insurance, automobile insurance. I wonder how many people are actually reading books about car insurance. These are the easiest keywords to get to bestseller. Now let's try to find a relevant category. We have a new category about real estate sales. This is amazing to me. This is a huge opportunity. 1 sale a day to be in the top 10 and 7 to be number 1. That's a great opportunity. Another interesting category is hospitality, travel, and tours. I owned a hostel for a few years with my wife, so we could slide a book in its category quite easily. I see that mail order is still a good opportunity. That's very exciting because a few of my books fit this category. Now that we've found some great ebook categories, let's look at books. There's no book category where you can be number 1 with just 1 sale a day. Most of these are easier categories are quite specific. Remember, you only need to be number 1 in 1 category to get the bestseller seal. It doesn't matter if it's an ebook or a book category. There's no bonus for being number 1 in multiple categories. Let's look at Publisher Rocket's final tool, AMS Keyword Research. This tool is for running amazing keyword ads. You could target up to 1,000 keywords in an ad, so you want large blocks of keywords to target for each campaign. This makes it easier to then optimize your ad by turning off words that aren't performing and increasing your spend on the words that are. Let's type in procrastination. When I'm running my ad campaign, I want to target as many keywords, book titles, and author names as possible. Some author names are the cheapest keywords you can target. Don't skip them. If we take a look at potty training, there are tons of great terms. The only ones I'm going to eliminate are the dog-specific terms. Very few people looking for a dog training book are going to buy one on training a baby. Once you have all the keywords you want selected, you can export a CSV, and then you can use those keywords to start your ad campaigns. That's a pretty in-depth demonstration of what Publisher Rocket can do, and I hope you found it useful. I didn't prep any keywords in advance, so that was a real recording of what using the tool is like. I'm a huge fan, and I use it all the time for my business. Number 5. Publisher Rocket alternatives. I mentioned KD Spy earlier, and it's a pretty awesome tool. It's not a direct competitor to Publisher Rocket in my opinion. It's a browser extension that is always there as you are perusing Amazon. It can do a lot of great things, and I tend to use it in conjunction with Publisher Rocket rather than as an alternative. A closer competitor is BookBolt, which I recently bought to work with my daughter on her no-content books. We are making a bunch of notebooks with her drawings on the cover, and that tool from BookBolt, it's aces. But what about the keyword tool? Let's find out together. This is the BookBolt search tool. Let's start with procrastination. I like that different variations of the word are appearing, like procrastinate and procrastinating. I'm getting a lot of keywords that are not relevant, like t-shirts. Our columns are Amazon search volume, Google search volume, CPC, and competition. But what I don't like is how much real estate is wasted on my screen. Compared to Publisher Rocket, a ton of my screen is wasted with sidebars. These most frequent keywords are interesting because I love suggestions that I didn't think of. That's what I really look for in a keyword tool. I don't want to confirm my ideas. I want a tool to come up with ideas for me. I can't click or select these keywords, so I wish this was a little more functional right now. This tool is using paid advertising logic when I'm really looking for organic. I want to rank for a keyword without paying for it. Their definition of keyword difficulty is based on how many people are advertising for it. I'm wondering if that's Google ads or Amazon ads. I only get low, medium, or high for the difficulty rating rather than Publisher Rocket's scale out of 100. In my opinion, it's easier to rank for a 66 difficulty than a 100 difficulty keyword, but BookBolt doesn't make it the distinction. I guess if you want to run Google ads to your book listing, then BookBolt is a better tool. Let's look at the KDB categories. I find it annoying how many tools force me to open a new tab. Half of the time it tells me that I'm not logged in, even though I am logged in inside the previous tab that's still open. This page is confusing because it says sign in at the top of the page, but it's letting me use the tool. So maybe I'm still signed in. Rather than look at all the categories and sift from the top down, BookBolt needs a keyword to start. Let's see if we get the same results as Publisher Rocket when I type in business. There are not very many categories showing, a lot less than Publisher Rocket showed me. Let's go back to Publisher Rocket and type in the same keyword and see what happens. Notice that I can't separate ebook and book categories inside of BookBolt. Look how many more categories Publisher Rocket is showing me. Even if BookBolt is only using ebook data and not book data, it's still missing way too many categories. Based on that little demo, I would say that BookBolt's research tools aren't quite ready for prime time. Additionally, the tool is a subscription, so it costs more than Publisher Rocket. I bought my license for Publisher Rocket around 5 years ago when it was called KDP Rocket. And even with all of the upgrades and updates, I haven't had to pay an update fee. That's pretty cool. I do own a copy of BookBolt, so there must be a reason for that, right? Well, I think the cover creator and interior creators for no content books are worth it. They do something really easy for my daughter to work with, and that's what I paid for. So in that case, the research tools are a nice little bonus. They'll probably keep updating the tool, and someday it may catch up to Publisher Rocket, but it's not quite there yet. There's no hiding that I'm a Publisher Rocket fan. I've been using it for years, and they are consistent about releasing updates. I only signed up for BookBolt last week, and this is the first time I've used their keyword tool, so you got to see me in action. Maybe if I went through their training videos first, it would have been a little smoother, but I'm not much of a read the instructions first kind of guy. If you're on the fence about grabbing Publisher Rocket, I have to say it's worth the cost. I hope you enjoyed my review of Publisher Rocket. If you want even more help becoming a best-selling author, you can download my free guide, Bestseller Secrets, at johnlinks.com/secrets right now. Let me know in the comments what your favorite research tool is, and if I missed a feature of BookBolt, let me know. Should I record a review of Katie Spy as well? Make sure to subscribe so you see my next videos. Thank you so much for watching my video. I've always got more content for you, so check out this one, or maybe even this one.